All righty, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and it's your boy Dave coming back at you live. It is a happy, wonderful Wednesday. Hope you guys had a fantastic sleep. Here we are for another brand new trading day. It is July 10th, wonderful Wednesday. Let's get started with our market news. It's yet another record close for the S&P 500. The broad market index advanced 0.07% to close the session at 5,576.98 points. This marks the index's 36th record close in 2024. Also posting gains, Nasdaq Composite added 0.14%, closing the session at 18,429.29 points. Just like the S&P, the tech-heavy index ended the day at a fresh record, and both hit all-time highs during the trading session. Unlike those two indexes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average moved 0.13% lower, ending at 39,291.97 points. So that's what we got this morning. Going into the watch list, we got LGVN as our number one gainer. So, we're getting all these small caps, these penny stocks running up super nicely. And we're not stopping. LGVN up over 100% this morning. The stock has traded about 28 million in volume, and this is our number one leader in gains. So it's a number one leader, and right now this is looking good. Still riding that 1025 EMA. Our first entry alert this morning in pre-market is $3. This is a play that we did yesterday as well, and today finally LGVN dropped a brand new press release announcing U.S. FDA granting this Lomecel-B regenerative medicine advanced therapy designation for the treatment of mild Alzheimer's disease. So float is low. Anything under 10 million float is considered low float. Float's the number of shares that's offered to the public, right? 4.4 million means it's going to be volatile with some volume, and we got great volume here at the house this morning. So I like it. I mean, $3 to $7, folks. So, you're seeing these stocks more than double. USA Biotech Company, and we have three things, right? So previous runner, low flow, has brand new press release. And if you look at the daily chart, this thing is known to run, right? This is the stuff that I look for. So LGVN, you can see just back from last month, has gone from just a little hair below $1. And obviously, I'm just saying, obviously it's not in one day, but in a few days, stock has ran up to about $4 pretty recently. So look what's going on here again. LGVN is trying to do the same thing here, similar nice move on up. So obviously it's not showing this current move because probably it's going to be updated later, but we have gone all the way up to, like I said, the $7 mark, 714. So we'll see if we can get out of this lower high right now. Currently it is still holding out this 25 EMA support bottom. It's been making a little bit of a higher low there, so we're at an interesting area to see if we're gonna be able to get this break out of this triangle. We had a couple of wicks above it previously, so we want to see a solid break back up towards that mark if it's going to get more volume. Okay, so that's about it with this guy, LGVN, multi-day runner from yesterday. And then you got VVPR here, top third gainer, and currently trading at 456. And now this one was a great trade earlier as well. The alert got sent out at $5. You guys know $5. Anytime you look for these low flows, anything under 10 million, and they're nearby $5, they're going to be great stocks for you guys to want to look forward to a play, because when that $5 solidly breaks, the stock is able to get those dollar runs, what I call dollar runs. So it's not getting like those 10, 20-cent pops. You're going to potentially see that nice 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and so forth, right? Now with this one, obviously we didn't get to $6 today. Unfortunately, we did get the $5 break, and then got up to about 570, which is still really good. But $5 needed to hold that support, and $5 cracks, there's just no reason for you to be staying in this particular stock. So rule of thumb, if you guys are in a stock and you see a stock breaking $5 and it breaks and cracks back below $5, best thing to do is probably not stay in, okay? And then get back in again when it does break back above $5. So what does that mean? Well, VPR, I'll be watching and be more interested again if it gets back above $5. That's going to be where around the VWAP is at as well. This is a United Kingdom solar tech company at a 1 million flow, so very low flow stock. There is, however, no news to drive this the stock. So really, again, what really drives stocks or anything really is volume. So no new news. About 17 hours ago, they came out with some little headline saying they secured an extension for a $34 million loan financing facility agreement. So I guess, if you count 17 hours ago, that's still news. That's, I guess, the latest news. So there is a little news there, but like I said, mainly $5 can be my main big one to keep an eye on. All right, moving forward to the next stock, guys. Here I have VRPX. So now the top second gainer. And this one is currently trading at $2.07, $2 break alert, and got all the way up to so far $2.31. And now we're kind of in between that $2 and $2.31 high of the day in pre-market resistance. So overall, if you look at the stock, it got a nice pop earlier at 7:30, obviously from probably some sort of press release, came down here. And then since then, stock has been maintaining this nice higher lows and higher highs, which, well, this one right here just unfortunately did not get a higher high. So we're going to have to see at the market openings to see if it's going to hold $2. $2 cracks again. We're probably going to see that nice pullback down to the 200 / or deeper to the 500 EMA. Now, with this particular stock, VRPX, this one is also a low float stock. It's sitting at 2.4 million float, USA Biotech company, and has brand new press release at 7:30. That's why it got that nice jump there. Now it's a positive result of swine model pilot study for Probudure. All right. So, anyways, some sort of a swine model positive results for that. So overall, looking pretty good. Still, you want to use that previous entry, $2, as your current support. And then 231 pre-market high to break for us to see a potential next leg up all the way up towards $3. So the stock does have room towards $3 on the RPX if that 231 becomes support and we continue to build that higher lows from the market opening. NAAS is next on the watch list. So let's take a look at that one. Currently the top 6 gainer. Stock's up about 45% or 47% right now. And currently as at $4.80. So another similar stock price to the, what was it? VVPR, which is a little bit hair below $5, but $5 break once again proves that it works well. Now with this one, it did get the dollar run, 5 and then 6 and then 660. Okay, so great trade there and nice winning ticket, banked on that one. And then what happens? Start selling off. Well, because people start locking in. And if you saw that nice 10 EMA extension as well as a trend line cracking, well, that was your bye-bye birdie moment. It's time to, press that eject button and GTFO. Right? And it's all the way back down here. So we can get a new entry again when the $5 break. So I'll be looking forward to seeing NAAS get that nice $5 break, solid break. That is, no fake outs. With this one, we do have a little bit of VWAP just above $5 to about 540. So, you got some scalping room there. Chinese specialty retail company. So FYI, this is a China company. Okay. So this low float or penny stock world, the Chinese stocks and Israel stocks, those companies, they tend to be very pumpy dumpy. All right. So a little bit more extra pumpy dumpy. So 4.5 million float or 4.1 million float. Okay. And there is no news on NAS to drive this stock on up from the $5. I think the day traders took advantage of the $5 and got a nice pop. So we'll see if the day traders see an available pop act again above $5, then it'll be interesting again. But that's about that. Okay, last but not least, I have KZIA, top 4th gainer now. This is the only micro penny stock on our watch list this morning. So as you guys all know, my favorite stocks go to trade range wise is going to be definitely at least above 1. And if I have to narrow it down more, it's the $3 to $5 range, and then the $5 break to $10. Those are my favorite range. I don't really like the micro penny stocks, and the reason for that is because you can get higher commissions from because you shares. Does that make sense? Because the shares is at 31 cents a share, so you're gonna have to buy more shares as well. So, there's a couple of things, but I'm not going to get into it right now. But the point is, I like more of the fluid on the a little bit more higher price stocks. But either way, it doesn't mean I don't trade these. I still do. A lot of times there's a season where the market will have a lot of these micro pennies running. Right now, it's not. Right now, we're starting to get more of these sub pennies that are running up nicely. So either way, though, KZIA will keep an eye on. Market is open. So KZI just has some forms, guys. I mean, I think 2 hours ago they had a press release. They announced a phase 2/3 clinical trial results on the Paxlovid and glioblastoma. So they just released those trial results, and that's about it. Again, I'm not really looking forward to trading KZI today personally, but if you're interested, I'll watch that VWAP roll there. So it looks like right now at the market opening, we are getting VRPX. I don't really personally like to trade in the first 5-10 minutes. So we'll see where the first waves go. VRPX is the only stock right now that is above VWAP compared to other stocks. You got a little bit of the KZIA right there at VWAP, but VRPX, $2 bouncing. So if you wanted to get back in, like I said, use that previous entry, which was the breakout, means that was resistance at the time. Now your support, and then take it back up to that pre-market high to break through 230. And then we got room towards 3+. So we got to break that pre-market high at 230 area there, which we are. Uh, 261 is the up halt. So it looks pretty good at the moment. Getting back into, I didn't get a chance to talk about the futures market. The past, this week so far, the ATR has been rather low. Okay, it hasn't been doing anything amazing or crazy, just because I think right after the holiday, the 4th of July, and coming back, we just didn't see a lot of heavy news. We didn't really see any, crazy one of those, PMIs. Those are the big ones, really, mainly on from the futures market. But we just had Powell speaking the other day. Today, just wholesale inventories, I believe, at 10 o'clock, which isn't anything huge. In the meantime, VRPX, I mean, I have my set order here. 280 is up halt now, guys. 280. Easy trade here. 280 up halt. They might move it up now. 292 now. So they're moving it up. Like I said, it has room toward $3. This is why we are getting a nice surge here. So mainly, my biggest trade of the morning obviously has been LGVN, and then VPR, and then NAAS, and then this is my 4th trade of the day, which is VRPX. So far it's just traded 4 tickers this morning, all green. If you just follow the plays, and I don't want you guys to follow these with no knowledge and no clue on what's going on. You just follow blind. That's not what this is about. But let's say you should still make money by selling off from just a first price target. Okay, that's the whole idea here. So make sure you guys are making money, making and learning and earning, and make sure you use those support levels. And if it cracks, then you gotta get stopped out. Okay, unless you have your own personal support levels that you see, which is more suggested, because at the end of the day, you are the one taking those trades. So right now we got 302 up halt. So we have not gotten halted up yet on VRPX. Right now it looks like NQ is taking a little beating back down, which is not surprising after a consistent run and market opening. You're getting that opposite effect of the pullback here after a decent run up. ATR waiting for that to kind of surpass 10 points now. You can see here the RSI was very overbought earlier this morning and starts been kind of cooling off since. And this line right here has been a heavy resistance, which is the 2764 line. So at the moment, one thing you have to keep in mind is that this 14 EMA today has been above the 50, so it is still healthy. So most likely we'll see the buyers coming back in at one point here, but let's wait till this thing kind of flushes down and finds a new support. I would wait for the RSI to cool off all the way as much below to the 30s. It's almost getting there actually, but I would wait for that. Right now, VWAP test. VRPX, we're waiting for that $3. If you, like I said, if you look at the daily chart. So for me, usually I get in, and then when I see these target levels, let's say I went in 5,000 shares. Again, you could have gotten 500 shares. Everyone's different. Everyone has their appetite of different share sizes, depending on what your account size is. But 5,000 shares, and then I would let go on these previous resistance lines. So I will let go half of it, 2,500 at 230 from the $2 entry, and make 30-cent pop there. And then, you know, maybe I'll take another 2,000 shares off every 25 cents, and then the last remaining all the way to the peak at $3 right now, 317 up all. So just give me an example of where you don't have to necessarily just buy your full shares and then sell. Oh, there's a strategy to where you can do that position management. We always talk about how the trading, 80% of it is trading psychology. It has a lot to do with your mental and emotions. Your mental have to be very positive. You cannot bring in negativity in this game, because once negativity seeps in, no matter how skilled you are, you will take bad trades and make mistakes. So you have to make sure you guys are mentally strong. That's 80% of it, you know, mental and your emotions. And then the 20% of it is what? We talk about the risk management side and the position management side. So I like to split that 20% between 10% being that risk management, and then the other 10 being the position management. We got a nice pullback down to 10 EMA. That 10 EMA still holding. We need to look for like a 10 EMA flag. You got a current support line at 231. That's your ideal support line. That, you know, if you want to be the dip buyer, that's around the area that you want to get in and make sure it does not crack. Looks like NQ got a wick down to the 27.25 line. Let me go and update that here on my line here. I have a line there. It's just kind of balanced there. All right. 321 is showing as a new up pull, but again, we don't have to worry about that until we get this thing getting back above $3 first. Okay, so pre-market high 231, now your support on VRPX. So 231 previous PM high, now support. And you got the 10 EMA. Now, VVPR does look like it wants to get a little breakout back out of the downtrend line, so I'm going to be watching that one closely. Just got a doji at 418, and then now it's getting a pop. So right now, though, VRPX is still the most healthy stock. NQ just keeps on draining down the toilet. Let it come down to probably, I'd say, oh man, if that 50 EMA cracks, it got a lot of room to run down the 15-minute chart down to 20,683. So the only thing is, it is getting on the oversold side. So take advantage of the short right now. The RPX is still looking good for another three. And then there's $3 touch. This is by simply looking at the daily chart right here, right? You had a huge gap here. We broke through that mark, became support, and then look what happened. We got more room here, $3. Again, you want to be looking at that exact mark here as well, 313. That was a high back on May 13th. So break through that, you got the 200 EMA, which is what I love to use as my final target on the daily chart here, which is showing about 345. But right now, 321 up, Paul, looking great. Locked in about $760 so far on VRPX. Nothing crazy, but looking good. 321, 331 up, Paul. They are moving it up right now, folks. It is getting that very FOMO high Momo. FOMO Momo. 331 up halt. Huge bounce on NQ there off the 200. 331 right now. Let's see if it sticks, folks. $339. They're moving it up. Just watch out for the extension here, guys. Don't get too greedy. Penny EMA is right at 278. It's a little far off, but you know, draw yourself a trend line and then set stops now. 339 up halt. They're moving it up. 346 up halt. Geez. Lock in majority of your gains, I'd say here, and then hold the rest and then set a stop. Because right now, your majority of the candlesticks are all green. So you're getting the nice higher lows and higher highs, 10 EMA writing, draw that sharp trend line, have some freaking support, right? You got the natural support line of $3, and then the previous high back in May, 313 line as your support. So you want to move it up now, right? If you have a stop at below $3, and now you move it up towards below, just a hair below 313, because that's support. You don't want to place stop right at support because you're only going to get hit by the support, only to get sold, and then the other guy just grab your shares and they're having fun, right? So got this little wick down here. So yeah, that trend line just did get cracked, right? So we got a high up towards 339. Great job for those that did lock in majority, right? It's just a smarter thing to do. So that's what we got so far. Crack the trend line now, and we're gonna have to wait now for that thing to come back above $3. You got 366 up halt. Let's go down the list one more time. VRPX #1 gainer, still the hottest stock right now. We got 10 EMA still holding. We can get rid of this trend line for now. NQ is reversing back on up. Here we go. We got 370 up on VRPX, guys. So that means that we need to at least get back above 313, build 313 as support. So NQ reversed, and we are now uptrending here. Okay, we're looking for a 10 EMA bull flag here right now, guys. So watch, sit tight and watch this setup here on VRPX. All right, we got a new Blues Clues here, folks. We got I like that 313 line to get that candle break for more. If VRPX is going to continue to do that. The only thing is we hit all the way up here to the 340 area, that near the 200 on the daily. So that's the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of at this point for potentially seeing this thing getting back above 313. So we're probably going to have to potentially wait for a different setup if this 10 EMA flag doesn't work out. I think we need to start looking towards like maybe LGVN. So yeah, I like the LGVN at the VWAP roll here. Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to need that solid 575 candle break there. So I'm watching LGB on the side while VRPX is still, holding out the 10 EMA, which, I wouldn't get in until we get that confirmation of this breakout. LGVN, it's getting rejected into or it's got a wick into VWAP right now, so I'm gonna wait until it does get that solid VWAP roll. NQ is right now bullish, still building a little bit of that higher low area. Reverse out of the downtrend line there. And potentially could make a new high of the day here if it breaks out this line again. This has just been a really tough resistance line. We do have an upward trend line coming to test here as well. So just got that rejection right there, right? So always draw your lines. So right now, VRPX waiting for that $3 to get that nice triangle breakout here. But like I said, 313 is going to be tough. If it does even pop on up, I'm afraid there might be a wick. LGVN back almost down to $5. So again, on standby for a lot of these stocks. I think another one, like I said, was KZIA. So I will watch KZIA on the side, guys.
Wow.
So KZIA looks like 32 cent will be the nice area that I see here. You want to wait for that confirmation because there's a little bit of that VWAP around that zone there. So once we do, though, should be good. Stock is on our watch list, only micro penny stock. So you want to get that VWAP roll, pop up, get that VWAP, 32 bill support, pop up to 40 cent plus. Okay, so NQ, look what happened. Major rejection at that trend line. Does it seem like the lines are working? It sure looks like it is. It's just got rejected. I mean, it's proven itself. It got rejected previous times there. And it got rejected here again, and then got a whack down. So that was your selling area, okay, on NQ. Now we're getting a big crack. So yeah, I mean, overall, the 4 TMA, something that I want you guys to keep a note today is that it's above the 50 still. So technically, the buys are going to be still there. So if the pullbacks happen, the buyers are going to be still looking for that dip.
All right.
So we got about 7 minutes till 10 o'clock. Pretty good. First, like 20, 25 minutes here at the market opening. So, all right now, this candle on the NQ is just literally trying to figure out whether or not it's going to try to hold this trend line. If it starts, opening below and it starts wedging out, then you guys know the drill. Right now, it looks like the bulls are still trying to hold out on this zone for some reason. LGVN is trying. So guys, hopefully you guys made a good bank here. I mean, I think we hit our max PT levels. I mean, we talked about $3. We got $3 and extra change all the way up towards that 200 EMA on the daily chart. So I think, no one should be bleeding or crying on that play, right? Everybody should be happy and popping champagnes tonight. All right. So we got that LGVN, this area crack. Like I said, it needed to hold that higher low and break out, and it would have been a move nicely here, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So it got a new crack down to 200 to 500, right? That's where you want to wait till those nice areas come back down. LGVN looking better, guys. just needs that solid 575. That's also the area that it's got to start breaking out of that downtrend line there. The only thing that we do need to keep in mind is the stock. You really want to wait for the confirmation because it's been a little wicky here. Wicks, wick. So just FYI, heads up. You need to time this very closely. Okay, let me readjust this. Right now, bulls are still trying, but based on this, we're gonna have to look for this area there now. This 14, they still curling up above 50. Nosferatu says NAS is trying NAAS. Let's see that one real quick. Yeah, a little higher below VWAP. So NAS is going to need that $5 roll like we talked about. LGVN testing VWAP right now. KZIH is a hair below VWAP. Same thing with VVPR. Right now, I would just watch LGVN more closely here in the meantime until something else pops up. Yeah, NAS is heating up a little bit. $5 resistance, 498 up halt. Actually got halted up. Interesting. Yeah, so NAS is halted up right below $5, right at 498, and into the VWAP. So that's a little. By the way, LGVN not getting in right now, so we're gonna have to just be on standby for now. But yeah, NAS just already got this big pop. You know, these guys that grab the big mega sale here. They took it up and got halted now. So it's in a very weird area. It's in an uncomfortable area, I should say, actually. There's this a very strong resistance line. So at the unhalt, it's gonna be very tricky here. So you're gonna have to be fast if you are in already. So we'll wait 5 minutes. Okay, so NAS is gonna officially unhalt here at 10:01 and 18 seconds.
JRPR. JWL. JWL. FNGR.
I think you pulled back down to the trend line support there. Okay, VPR testing. Or was that V? Yeah, it's VPR. Where's she at? Oh yeah, she got sold oversold there down there. It's right now testing the VWAP. I actually think VPR could go again, like I said, that 418 line. Do we have a play there? I have a line at 418. This 418 breaks, we should be able to go nicely here. No, I don't see VVPR right now. Last play was $5. So this 418 is gonna need that solid break here on BVPR. Um, it's already breaking through. It needs to build support though here. So that's it. See that right there? 418 is breaking through. There we go. 483 uphold. Yeah, Nas is also gonna get unhalted here. Let's see what happens. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen there. Okay, Nas unhalted. Okay, it's actually opening up way below $5 now. 550 uphold.
Range. 8 ppm.
584 uphold. So beautiful VWAP roll there. It was a little tricky area because you would have to be getting in really quickly in and out if you at the on a halt here. I'm not a huge fan of that personally. It's either you were already in or you weren't, right? So I'm personally not chasing this, but if it's above VWAP, it's worth looking at it to see if it's going to hold above it. It could be just a quick within 1 minute goes up and goes below it. Looks like NQ got wicked down, and then I keep telling you guys, buyers are still there. Buyers are still buying these dips because 14 may still above the 50 every time. I look at NQ, it proves that buyers are stronger whenever we see that. And obviously, it's a bullish day. So the more you take the short trades, the odds are a little bit against you. So probably a more of a dip day right now, and then have stops, tighter stops. Because you want to be getting in on those nice pullback support levels and then have a tight stop. Okay. 579 uphold right now on NAS. It's trying to see if it's going to hold above that line. I the VPR got a wick into it. I'm gonna give it another shot. If it does get solidified above that, I still think that 418 line is gonna be, once it builds support there, it's gonna be a nice one. So I would watch for that re-break there on the VPR right now. NAS looks good. KZIA is trying to break that 32 cents here. So we got 3 stocks right now that's looking pretty decent. And right now I don't have any shares on any of them. I'm thinking about the KZIA here. It's trying to do a VWAP roll. So let's pull up KZIA real quick here in a minute. I'm gonna watch VVPR real quick as well. See if it's gonna be able to get that 418 line again.
GH. That's big.
Wait for KZIA to get the VWAP roll. It's not above VWAP right now. It's testing VWAP. NAS, like I said, I think it was just a really awkward area to get halted and then unhaul for a quick pop, and everyone just sells out quickly. BVPR was the one I was looking at. Okay, NQ still strong. Buyers are still pushing. Okay, so BVPR, this 418 is where you want to see that nice solid re-break. That's why I didn't want to go for the first one necessarily, because you don't know if it's going to build support or not. But this one, let's see. And keep coming back up a little bit again towards the upper trend line there. Keeps getting rejected up those lines. It's an interesting tight area here on NQ. It's up 88 points. You know, ATR is better than before. It's like 14 today, but the days that you should expect it to be up over 20 and 30 and all that, it's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the big day, 8:30 a.m. as usual. That time you got the initial jobless claims, the CPI, right? CPI, Consumer Price Index. Those are very important here in the market. So we're gonna, for those that are trading futures, I know futures, some of you guys been a little bit quiet again since the small caps picked back up on the stocks, but right now, tomorrow's gonna be a big day. So be prepared for that. Today's just a kind of a regular slow day like it's been for the past like few days now. Okay, testing that trend line here. We'll see if the body's able to break above that build support and then go towards the deviation 2 line. If it can't, it's just going to be a wick and then constant rejection there until the bears finally pull the plug, or, you know, they try to take it down, cracks that trend line, and then you got a lot of room to run back down there. So at the moment, I have VPR that I have on deck here, waiting for potential play if it gets that nice 418 break.
AMLS. RCH.
I'm gonna go ahead and retract UNCY. There was a play for a 60-cent break, looks like earlier. I did not trade that. Let's see if it did ever break though. No, we didn't. So we're gonna go ahead and retract that. Right now I'm watching VPR here closely. Okay. I need to see the candle closing here in the next 45 seconds above 418, and we should be good. NQ is popping up higher now. It is breaking above that. So potentially that line there, previous area of resistance rejection, now could be your support. And then the deviation 2 line as your next resistance. So again, just not the best day to, short at random places on NQ today because it keeps getting squeezed up. And trust me, I love to short on the futures market just because you don't have to like go and borrow shares. In fact, I just haven't been shorting as much, in the stock market lately, just because I want to focus on taking the long right in the morning, and then you can wait till the futures market's all the way up and then just come in and swoop in and take a short. You don't have to locate any shares or nothing. So that's just been my MO. But at the same time, like I just don't stick around like I used to back in the days, right? I don't stick around till 4 p.m. after hours, waiting for the stock to just go back to garbage land. I mean, it's fun, but it's just not in my season right now. I'm not really in the mood to sit around all day and then wait for these stocks to come all the way down to the, where it started, which is fun, but much better to, I say, focus on getting in on these moves early in pre-market and just focus on riding it up, take the bag, and then you're done. Most of the time you stick around. Again, everybody's different, but from my perspective, your brain doesn't function as well. You're going to need to go get that second cup of coffee. And I don't want to get a second cup of coffee. Okay. I don't want to get, I don't want to rely on caffeine or anything to get me staying up and get my brain still working. I don't want that. So I'm going to do it while I'm fresh. My brain is making good decisions. And then after that, you're off because you keep trading till the afternoon. You're hungry, you gotta eat, and then after you eat, you're gonna get lazy, you're gonna get a little drowsy, right? And then your brain starts slowing down. You take all these random, like not the great trades, and then you give it all back, and then now you're red, and now you're pissed, and now you're frustrated, and now you're trying to stay up till after hours. Not fun. So sometimes you gotta kind of wait. Okay, which is more precious to me right now? Is it the money or is it the time? I say in the beginning, when you don't have the money, yeah, you're gonna need to sacrifice time to get that money. Okay, when you're not in so much of that time right now, time is more valuable, right? So you kind of have to figure out what works for you the best. Some of you guys ask me, hey, do you stick around for the after hours? I mean, I'm not anymore at this time. So. And also, there's a theme, there's a little times in the market too when there was, I think a couple of years ago or so, I don't know how long it's been, probably I'd say 2 years ago. That's when, I mean, the whole first time GameStop era and all that, everybody started to pump stocks and stick around till after hours. Like there were just so many different types of ways to, make money. But now the theme is just, hey, get in early pre-market and then you're out. I don't really want to see VPR crack the 500, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to take this loss. 396 is support. So I did grab some just now, VPR. I don't want to see this crack 396 line. Otherwise, taking the loss because I did try some just now, but got up to about 430. I knew 440 was a little bit. I mean, it could because the VWAP still all the way up to 449. So I do think we could still see that. We just don't want to see this 396 crack, and I don't want to see the trend line crack. So just have stops ready if you guys decided to enter that. I want to make sure 396 holds. But yeah, that's just me. So now you can set yourself a range order, right? So you can set a stop at like 394 and then set a limit order at 440. Okay, that way, whatever hits first, hits. Make sense? Well, and a lot of times that's what I do, when I'm in a multiple tickers, like I can't manage all of them, right? So I'll just put a range order or bracket order if you guys are in a different broker. And I'll just leave those target levels and then stop set. And then sometimes I might be trading a futures, and then same thing there. I will have an ATM order on the futures. That way, if I see that NQ pulling back to a certain area that I like, then I'll go and buy the dip, and then automatically it will set the ATM, which is, you know, whatever target I usually like to go for, like 10 or 20 points with the stop, right? So right now, VPR, we don't have to be worrying until like support cracks. Right now it's still good. Just needs to get that juice pop. So ideally, I like to see this area here break out. Okay, so NQ still climbing very nicely, higher lows and higher highs. It is just only thing is getting back up towards that overbought territory.
All right. Yes.
Also, just to maybe for those that don't understand the difference between when I say the word break and crack, um, break just means that I'm looking for that break above, so up. Crack is support line cracking or like down, like it's bearish, like crack is not good, right? If it cracks, it goes below. Break up. So um just my way of saying things. If you guys were curious, sometimes I know you guys are like, well, it's breaking $3. Sometimes you might be confused, like, is it, what do you mean by that? Is it moving up the resistance, or is it breaking below support? For me, like I said, breaking is above resistance, crack below support. Okay. Okay, you got the, let's see, VPR still within that line. Just keep an eye on it. Right now, I missed KZIA just now. KZIA just took off. I missed it just now, but KZIA 32 cents. 32-cent breakout now. So it just took off. I wanted to get in on that area, but I missed it. So now you got 32 cents as your support. PT did hit. It got up to 37 cents from 32. That's 5-cent reward there. Just gotta watch these areas of resistance. Ooh, just got a big nasty pullback there on NQ. But okay, so it's coming down to the 25 EMA. That's a pretty decent area of support it needs to hold.
Oh. Okay. BTIO. All right.
So if you look at KZI, every time it pops, it's been making a little bit of lower high. So you could also draw another little trend line within the trend line, or not within the trend line, but technically I mean, it's not looking that great right now since it's got to that overbought territory. But yeah, this is still trying to hold out some of these levels here and get rid of this now.
Amari.
Did anybody grab KZIA by any chance? I'm still just personally in on VBPR, but so now as it moves on up, guys, you could start raising your stops up so that you don't have to risk all the way down as the price goes up. Makes sense? So right now we are still beautiful, nice higher lows off from what using my 396 support. We are looking better. I just want to make sure we get a solid break here. Man, just too much rejection right here right now at the moment. It's crazy. KZIA though still looks good. VBPR literally between support and resistance.
BTIO. Okay, Amari. EGPS.
What did I say about KZIA? Watch for that move towards 40 cents, and here we are. KZIA. Here is 0.40 cent from 0.32 breakout alert. New high of the day now. I didn't get a chance to get on this. That's a shame. 53-cent up halt. It looks good now, but way better to have entered earlier, right? 53 up halt. So anybody took that trade yet? No, nobody. Not a single one of you took the micro penny trade. The only position I'm right now on is, like I said, VPR. Let's see if there's anything else setting up here as we are coming up to the first hot hour. Don't really see a whole lot right now except for KZIA. I'm gonna retract UNCY, like I said. We don't need to be paying attention to that. Let me know if you guys have any questions.
USP.
So if you look back at Prosperity Trace channel, so these are all the alerts, pretty much. You got VAPR, that was our first play of the day, great, from $5. NAAS, $5 breakout, great trade there. LGVN at $3, excellent trade there. VRPX, $2 break, another great trade there. LGVN, we have yet to see if it's going to break 575. It's a little far away from it, more looking like 11 a.m. rip or dip determination. And if it doesn't happen, then I'm going to get rid of it. KZIA, phenomenal runner just now as well. So we're getting really good plays. You can see here, we're just every day in the market, in the stock market, that is, we're just getting really solid breakouts. So what does that mean to you? It means that you need to stop playing so safe on the market. When it's times like this and the gains are coming, you cannot keep playing the safe same way. The market's not slow right now. Market's good, right? Lots of buying. So your position could start increasing now, okay? So that you don't have to get the same, play the same 200 shares, 500 shares, 2,000 shares. You can increase it a little bit now. Does that make sense? So these are times where you can start maximizing. There's seasons for a better, gains than other seasons with slow, where you have to do your best to more focus on taking those smaller profits. There's nothing wrong though, still taking smaller gains. You have to have a habit of still locking in those small gains, right? And then trying to do your best to mitigate your losses. Everyone needs to have their max loss, guys. You can't go into this game without trying to, you can by the time you're like, you have built up enough capital to where you're comfortable losing. But in the beginning and general rule of thumb, I think everyone should have like a max stop loss, like for the day. So like, my way of saying that to you has always been, know your average daily gain. So if your average daily gain in a month is about like, just go back, don't do it every day, because every day is going to be different, right? Some day you might make $300, some day you might make 1,000. So it's going to differ. But if you average in the 20 business days in that 1 month, you'll know your average daily gain. So if your average daily gain comes out to be $500 a day, okay, then you really don't want to take a $500 or more loss, and then just wait till the next day. Next day comes, hey, take that better trade. Try to not take those silly trades. Sometimes even the good trades may not work. That's the thing about in this game, right? There's no guarantees. It's all probability. So if you can just do your best to manage that and understand that, just like business, you're going to have your up days and your down days, up seasons, down seasons. It's all about learning how to navigate through those times and staying positive. And, because a lot of times business owners or anyone else out there trying to start something, they will get discouraged. They will get beaten down. But if you let those discouragements and negativity seep into your mental mindset, what's going to happen to that person? They're going to give up. They're going to say, F this, screw everything. And it can happen to anyone. We all have those seasons, but you have to stay strong and get back up, and figure out what is going on here and try to do your best to solve the issue. Okay. Sometimes the issues may take a little bit longer than we hope, but at the end of the day, you have to stay positive and look at where I'm at right now. I have never given up once. I have done nothing else in my life, guys. I have done nothing else. I've told you, at 18 in college, I found that this stock trading thing was where I wanted to, it doesn't matter when you start, but the point is, I just never I never took a break. I took a break, but that never was more than like a few months, never over a year, right? There's going to be a time where you get burnt out and you need to take a little break from, trading, but at the end of the day, I just got to pick back up. When I say months, it's like several weeks. So something you got to kind of keep in mind. KZIA, 40 cents is now your support. Why? Because this area previously was all a bunch of wicks here, notifying that was a very strong resistance. So now very strong resistance previously is now your very strong support. So I got stopped out on VPR, guys. So unfortunately, took a $420 loss on that, but I was up 760, or not 760. That was VRPX. I got confused with VRPX and VPR. So took a loss on that, but still made gains from a previous play. So that's how you do it. Okay. if you want to take a shot at it, have enough areas to where you've already built up a cushion earlier in the morning, and then don't risk the house money, right? It's a much smaller game. So like, yeah, like it's much a smarter way to do it. Like build up, get in early, and then if you try again, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So this is the first loss of the day here, guys, on VPR. Didn't work out, got stopped out. So you pull back up on VPR, you see that? It's just the nature of it, right? Not every trades are going to be wins, but this is what I'm talking about. Know the patterns, draw your lines, move your stops up, right? I think I told you, right? I think I told you to move your stops up. It's better just so you can save and mitigate your loss. Why? Because if you look at it, this is a moment of truth area. This is a moment of truth. If the Bulls can push it up, then we would have gotten our PT and more. And then this starts cracking. Most likely, it's going to go down here and then hit everyone stops. And now it's going to go all the way down here, most likely, right? Or it's going lower unless this area becomes support, which does happen sometimes. It's just like sometimes there's times where they stop out everybody and then moves back up. But you have to stick to what you say you're gonna do and just do it. What happened. You don't need to keep thinking about it. The past is the past. The past is dead. All right. We're in the present moment now. We got to focus on the present moment to what the future presents and focus on that, and prepare for those, not prepare for the past. The past is there's nothing to prepare for in the past. It's already done. So $3 here. And then we got VRPX to 315 line there. So what was this one here? We had a latest play on VRPX at, so VPR, no go. X, KZIA worked out. LGVN, not yet. VRPX, $2 break, and now we're at $3. So there's not anything yet on this. So I think, yeah, that reversal at the VWAP was really good.
Wow.
Someone asked me just now, hey Dave, I was listening to you talking about pre-market trading. What do you recommend me to do it properly? So yeah, I think people that are not used to trading pre-market, it is a little daunting. It can be a little confusing because you are a little limited on some of your orders, right? You can only do limit orders. Oh, I guess VVPR people bought the dip. Here's what it is. It popped back up, but those are times where I will get frustrated a little bit, but not to the point where it's like, But someone was asking me about the pre-market trading. So the way I think about pre-market is this. It's different than obviously the market opening, the way I think that is. So because in the market opening versus pre-market for me, like I will get in early, like not necessarily before the confirmation all the time. So meaning I will always have some sort of smaller share in pre-market. When I see a play, when there's a news, I will just jump in. I will chip in some of my shares in. Does that make sense? Like, because think about it. The more people start waking up later, not everybody's dedicated to wake up early in the morning. So the more you are able to get up early and take that early bird entry, right? That's what my mindset is. Early bird gets the worm. Like the later you get up, the later the price is going to be higher. You're missing all the meat of the move. So it's kind of hard in pre-market to explain. Is you just try to get in early. That's the whole idea of pre-market. So if you can just think about that for now, and not do that at market opening. Don't try to get in early as in terms of the breakout points in the market opening, because the market opening by that time, there's going to be a lot of short sellers. There's going to be a lot of people, because a lot of people that are actually good at shorting, they don't short in pre-market. Okay. They just don't, because I mean you can still short here and there, you make a couple, but you're not going to get those big gains. The big gains on the short happens after everyone really like massively moved up. Like I love the shorting ones where it's running up, 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 and you got a short window, and then you just take a short on that, and then it just fades all day. Those are really easy ones, but lately it's just been more where the stock kind of pulls back before market opens, and it just rips the entire morning session. So so that's what I would say on the pre-market now. So just chip in small amounts. If you see a play with news, it's low flow, it's got room on the daily, and at the market opening, you want to be extra careful. You want to be extra cautious. Wait for those confirmations, because there's a reason why there's more fake outs, right? Because a lot of shorts waiting. They like to take that price down. They're betting that the price is going to go and get rejected at that resistance line. So while you're buying into resistance, they're hammering into those areas. Yeah, NQ just making lower highs and lower lows.
H.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick 5 minute, 5 to 10 stretch break, and then we'll be right back. Sparta, I'll get back to your message after our 5 minute stretch break. All right, so we'll be back here in a few. Oh my goodness, guys. Did you guys hear me? Oh my goodness. Ah, I hate this when I say this. That's so annoying. I was dropping gems. I was dropping gems and it was muted. This is crazy. FFS. Happened to me before and happens again. So, dang. So annoying. I have to repeat myself all over. I'm sorry, guys, man. That's just I wish I could have a time machine. Flip. So Sparta, what I was saying was, so the entry point, okay, so candle break, yes, you always still want to have the candle break confirmation. So what I was saying was the whole time, you want to start chipping in some, right, as the price is looking like it's breaking. Make sure that on that particular stock, it's, something that's one of the leading gainers. It's got the spotlight. So you can chip in some. That way you feel like you're in, and that even if it doesn't work out, that it's not a confirmation, you're taking a small loss. But if it is a confirmation, you're still in. You can add more into the strength once it's confirmed above that candle closing. Does that make sense? And that way, as it breaks up towards the first target, you can use that first target as your area of letting go. And then once that area becomes support, add some of that let it go shares again back into your position. And then you kind of start rotating as the price gets higher lows and higher highs. And then you keep moving those stocks because the support levels are getting built up higher and higher. Second question for you was that the KZI, is there any strategy or method to not miss these plays, or I can monitor so you don't miss these in the futures? The second two things I said. First thing was I have a watch list on my brokerage, and then a lot of times, a lot of your brokerages, I don't know what you use, but you should have like a watch list where you can put those stocks on the watch list and then set up, right click the monitor or alarm, set up an alarm. So for example, if there's an alert for KZIA at 32 cents, but the price is at 27, set up an alarm there that you can have like a pop-up or make the brokerage make some sort of a beeping noise for you so you're kind of aware of what's going on, where you set up an alarm at 29 cents. So when that price is 29 cents, that means you can get ready now because it's almost at the 30-cent mark before the breakout. Or excuse me, 31 because the 32 cent was the alert. So you see what I'm saying? You can set up some of these plays, wherever else wherever price points that you want to be alerted at. And that's how I sometimes manage my plays. I don't do that every day though. Okay. I don't do that every day because a lot of days I'm focused and I can manage this. For those days that are going to be hectic and I'm like all over the place, and I'm going to set up alarms so that I'm aware some of these plays are going to come back up. And then the second thing I was saying was have one monitor. Obviously monitors are square, rectangle, have, the first 25%. So I have 4 charts on one screen. I don't have 10 charts up on screens, guys. I used to do that. I don't need that. It's not necessary. I have 4 stocks. So basically on one screen, on one monitor, at 25% of the chart size on the, top left corner, the other 25% chart size onto the top right corner, right? And then so forth to the bottom left and then the bottom right. And that way you can monitor. And so, pull up KZIA, have VRPX open, have LJVN open, have VVPR open, right? Those were really the main top 4 plays. You're not going to see a whole lot of stocks, doing, 10 stocks. So you don't really need 10 charts. The only times you can flip it is when a stock is completely dead. It's one of those stocks that are at the market opening, short window, and it's going to be a fader all morning. You can get rid of that after pre-market and replace it with a new guy that is getting the spotlight again. Whew. Okay, so I pretty much said that in a quick gist because I'm repeating myself again, but because I was muted. But anyways, KZIA, right? I also was saying that if you miss the 32 cents, you could use the 40 cents as your support level, right? Because 40 cents, you can see here, people bought this area. How do I know 40 cents was going to be a good area of support? Previous area of resistance in pre-market. Lots of wicks into it. So you use that as strong support. Once that breaks, use that as support, sell into the next resistance, buy back in, sell again. So you're risking, and then, so you get in at 40 cents, have a stop 2 cents below support or 1 cent, whatever you feel comfortable. And then, you're taking that for a 49 cent back to the high of the day and more. So you bought, say, 5,000 shares at 40 cents. Okay. Sell half of it at the high of the day, and then see if it's gonna continue to break through. Have set a stop somewhere. Look for a new doji. Use that as support. Maybe set your rest of the shares back. Set a stop at 44. You move it up. Add those shares again into 49 strength, and now here's what you get. And then whatever you feel comfortable. If it's getting extended, then sell it all and call it a day. Your job really should be try to be done by 11 a.m. Like going back to what I was talking about. Your mind and brain is most fresh in the morning. I'm not trying to stick around so I can squeeze out a few $100s more so I can get another second cup of coffee and get all lit up. I'm not, maybe when I was in my 20s, but just not the case. This is it's not healthy to keep drinking coffee, by the way. So, if you need coffee in the morning, have one glass and just call it. And then have the natural energy. You don't want to be dependent on something. You want to have the energy comes from your mindset, guys. Most of the time it is your mindset. You wake up and you tell yourself it's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a great day. You don't need to take some pills and be like, wow, like I feel good. No, feel good comes from what you say and what becomes, right? So, take action, and then you say you're gonna wake up at that time. Wake up and get ready to go. If you're not early morning pre-market guy or gal, then you know what? Start not having to. You don't have to wake up right at 7 o'clock. Maybe start waking up at 8 o'clock, and then slowly 7:30, and then 7 o'clock. Right? The more you can prove yourself, then you can do it. Then you can do it. Same thing with position size. You're not ready to dump in $10,000 worth of share sizes when you haven't even done over 5,000. You don't need to be jumping that big. Does that make sense? So again, just gradual once you prove it. Okay, once you prove yourself. So that's why I was talking about the candle breakouts. If you're not sure, you're not really sure how to do those, chip in some as the price is breaking. Okay. Have the support lines and use that support line and have a stop a few cents below. Know the risk, know the reward, because obviously the alerts will tell you what price targets there are. Generally speaking, you always want to lock something in on the first target. Okay. And then use that previous breakout first point as your support, and then look for that higher low and then higher high. Draw that channel on the trend line, and then make sure those EMAs are working in your favor. Okay. We'll talk more about it again throughout the next few days, because I really want you guys to kind of get this, because if you look at the plays, right, as long as you're just imagine you can somehow eliminate all your emotions, right, and you were literally like a robot, and the robot just like literally you just trade at that entry, and then you sell at these target levels. I mean, you're gonna get money literally every single day just based off on my winning rate. Just off from the win rate. The reason why some of you guys are not getting that consistent win is because of your emotions. You get in and then you see the price tanking down. You don't draw your support lines. You don't look at the chart. You get all emotional thinking it's the end of the world. And then you sell it all and then it's all red. You see what I'm saying, guys? You need to knock that off, get a grip, okay, and brush off on your chart skills and get that basic support resistance line in ready to go, guys. It's literally supply and demand. Nothing rocket science here. Okay, there's gonna be some manipulations and little fake outs happening here and there, but as long as you are prepared, knowing that, hey, this looks like an area that a lot of shorts are gonna want to short. This looks like an area that a lot of buyers are gonna look to sell. Why? Well, because there's a lot of resistance from the history. Look at the daily chart, et cetera, and then make the best decision out of it. Does that make sense? So, like I said, all these other stocks start being below VWAP. LGBN below VWAP, VDPR below VWAP, UNCY below VWAP, all these other stocks below VWAP, except for what? Oh, one of our watch lists on KZIA. So have those watch lists, set up alarms, okay, and then you'll be good. So try that. If you somehow can't seem to, if you feel like you're juggling the balls like everywhere, have 4 stocks in the watch and set up alarms and take it from there. And again, guys, I do not expect anyone in here to take every single trades. Sometimes I don't even take the alerts, right? Because not that I don't want to, sometimes I miss it. Okay. There's times where you're not going to be able to just catch everything. And that's, you gotta need to okay with that. Okay. Because there's plays every single day. today doesn't have to be the only day that you have to, you know what I mean? There's going to be plenty of days. The goal here is to at least get one of them and do a good job, make good trades. It's not about the money. Don't focus on the money. Focus on just the results and improving yourself. Okay. The biggest reward for me from trading hasn't been about the money. The money is great, but the money comes after you start realizing this trading is shaping you up into a building you a great character, right? Character is so important, right? It's building and shaping you into this strong, you're building that strong mentality, strong energy, right? You want that good positive vibe. You don't want to be around negative people, negative minded people. Those guys, they're going to be all losers. They're going to not make a dime in the market. Okay. You get my point? So I went over the board at 11 o'clock. So we're going to call it here, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wonderful Wednesday. Surely was a wonderful Wednesday, hopefully for everybody. And looking forward to an awesome trading session with you guys tomorrow morning. Take care, everybody, and God bless you all.